Going live. Oh, I'm live. Fantastic. All right. Sorry, just happens as soon as you go live and the phone rings. Okay, so I want to talk to you today about telling yourself that you deserve to be here. I was walking through the park this morning with my little Bernese puppy. His name is Otis. He's very cute. One of these days, I'm going to show him on one of my lives because he has to be seen to be believed. He's like a teddy bear with shark teeth. And I was thinking about you. I was thinking about what are the things that I'm hearing are coming up. Well, there's two sides to it. There are the comments and the things that I'm hearing inside either Be the First or Confident Black Lawyers, my two coaching programs for Black lawyers, supporting you, coaching you, helping you to progress and fulfill your potential in this industry. So I'm hearing it and coaching on it within the programs. And actually, there are three parts. And what I'm noticing, seeing, and thinking about are all of the celebrations on LinkedIn in particular. Now, I don't know about you, but when I go into LinkedIn, what I'm faced with is like a sea of celebrations. So many of you are doing fantastically well. You are progressing. You've been promoted. You've been appointed to a new role. So there's so much to celebrate. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what's going on behind the scenes? What's happening in the moments once you've had the great news, you're feeling euphoric, you're feeling proud, you're celebrating, you're sharing, right, that you've had this achievement, you're showcasing your value. What happens next? And then so the third thing I took myself to was how before I did this work on imposter syndrome, before I developed this incredible tool for overcoming imposter syndrome, what it made me think about was the number of times that I achieved something. I had, and going all the way back to school, right, either winning awards or winning trophies in sporting events or winning prizes like academic prizes or getting into my next school or getting into Cambridge, getting my GCSE results, getting my A-level results, winning a training contract, right, at Allen & Overy, and then, all the way through at every single stage, all of the achievements, right, that and successes that you experience along the way and I've experienced along the way. And what I took my mind to as I thought about you in the moments after you celebrated is how often that celebration, that euphoria, that excitement then takes a complete nosedive, how it completely dips. And in fact, what it often follows is a spiral of self-doubt. As soon as the euphoria and the celebration is done, there's like this anti-climax. It's a bit like the balloon that's really, really inflated, and then suddenly it goes and it just sort of shrinks, right? So you go from being this person who feels on top of the world and so capable to being someone who's like, oh my gosh, now what? Like, now what do I do? I've been appointed to this new role, or I've got my training contract, what I've always wanted. Or I've been promoted to senior associate or counsel or partner. And you're like, what do I do now? And then the doubt starts to creep in. And then the questioning. And then the, do I deserve to be here? And then the, oh my gosh, I'm going to be exposed. And there's just something incredible and unique. I mean, there's no other feeling like it, I don't think. And if you think there is a different feeling, there's a feeling like this elsewhere, do tell me in the comments when you watch this back. But I don't think there's any other feeling like when you've achieved something, you've achieved your goal and you feel amazing 1 minute and the next minute you feel terrible and terrified. I must think about a name for that, for like what we can call it when, and if you have any suggestions, write in and tell me or put in the comments, like what shall we call it when you go from being up here on this massive high to being down here on this terrible low, self-questioning, self-doubting, like nervous about, like, can I do the role? And actually I use the word nervous, but it's not the right word because there's a normal inevitable expected amount of nervousness that you would have embarking on any new project or new role. But actually I'm talking about going from being really high in this inflated balloon to being really small and really I don't want to say shriveled, don't like the image of that, but like being really small, feeling really vulnerable, feeling really scared. That is showing, that tells me, and that's an indicator to you that your imposter syndrome has been triggered by this incredible success. Interesting, isn't it? imposter syndrome gets triggered when we perform well, when other people notice, when we achieve our goals. Like, this is how you know it's imposter syndrome, isn't it? Because actually, the difference between what I call ordinary, everyday, normal, not that imposter syndrome isn't normal, but like generic, that's a better word, self-doubt, generic self-doubt decreases as you achieve more. The difference with imposter syndrome is that the more you achieve, the more you succeed, right, the stronger it gets. And it can come back with a vengeance when you least expect it, when you're feeling most confident, most high, most fulfilled, most the greatest sense of accomplishment. So I want to talk to this today. So what I hear you say, I know I used to say, and what I'm hearing coming up in my coaching programs is when that happens, when your imposter syndrome is triggered because you've been promoted or you've got that role, right? You say to yourself, and actually other people will even recommend that you say this to yourself. You say, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. So you're there, you're in a bigger room, you've got your new label, your new promotion, the new level of tasks that are coming in. The self-doubt is triggered, imposter syndrome, right, is triggered. And you, to try and calm yourself down, to try and get yourself out of that horrible feeling of not enoughness, which is the emotion that is the sign, the signal that it is imposter syndrome, to get you out of the not enoughness, that I can't do this, that I'm going to be exposed, that I don't deserve to be here. You tell yourself the opposite. I deserve to be here, or I worked hard to be here. Actually, that's an even better one to catch. I've worked hard to be here. Other people will tell you that. You've worked hard to be here. And that is true. You have worked hard to be here. So that is true. And yet, this, my friend, is not enough to overcome your imposter syndrome in the moment. It is not enough to take you out of that state of not enoughness. I'm not capable. I'm going to be exposed. That state that is going to hold you back, stop you from showing up to your potential. You telling yourself, I worked hard to be here. I deserve to be here. All that does is aggravate your imposter syndrome. It does not help you overcome it. Oh, imposter syndrome, I like to say it doesn't care about the truth. And it's so true. It doesn't actually care that you worked hard to be here. It doesn't care that you deserve to be here. You earned, right, the promotion. It doesn't care that you filled out 400 applications and went to interview after interview after interview to get this new role. Okay, it doesn't matter that you picked yourself up after 50 failures. Imposter syndrome doesn't care about that. It's still going to come up in these moments. Listen, it's not a problem. Nothing has gone wrong. This is a totally, like, I'm trying to avoid using the word normal, but I want to say, like, it's a normal response to have, especially as a Black lawyer in a white corporate world, in an environment that reflects back to you, right, that there's no one like you, that you don't belong there, or that this environment isn't made for you. Yeah, it's totally understandable. It's nothing to do with no deficiency in you. Nothing's wrong. Nothing needs fixing. All you need is to have the awareness of exactly what's going on, what's triggered it, right? Recognize the emotion in your body of not enoughness, and then know how to solve for it, right? So you're trying to solve for it with, I deserve to be here. I worked so hard, right? I worked hard. I earned my right to be here. Here's why this doesn't work. When you have the thought, and you tell yourself, I deserve to be here, and how hard you worked, it creates an emotion in you that doesn't drive you to show up to your potential. It doesn't bring out the most capable version of you. And the emotion, I want you to think about, before I tell you what that emotion is, that certainly I experience and I'm seeing in my clients, and my best guess, and I'm like thinking about those thoughts, my best guess is the emotion it produces in you. When I share this emotion, I want you to think about that. Is this right? Is Caroline, has she hit the nail on the head? This is how I feel. So the emotion that comes up when you tell yourself, I deserve to be here, is entitled. Telling yourself, I worked so hard to get here. I deserve to be here. The emotion that creates in you, in your body, and therefore you show up to the role from, or your work from, or the next conversation from, or the relationship from, is entitlement. I want you to think about that. When you feel entitled, how do you behave? What do you do? I know for me, if I'm in a state of entitlement, it kind of creates this leaning back in me. It creates this expectation that everything should work, or that I've done enough, that I should just be able to, like in my sleep, do everything. It creates the emotion in me that other people should be responding or feeding that entitlement, or give me what I feel entitled to, the recognition, right, that I deserve, the opportunities. Other people should open doors. They should make it easier for me. They should invite me to the room. They should share their clients with me. They should nurture me along the way. Can you hear all the shoulds that come out of entitled? For me, what entitled does is produce the opposite of proactive, leaning in, being resourceful, being resilient, going to work. Okay? Can you see the difference? I want you to really check in with yourself. When I feel entitled, how do I show up to work? Yeah. And think about the result that will create if you are there expecting, in expectation mode, in the mode of what everybody else should be doing, or what the role should be like, or how much support you should be getting, or how easy or smooth the journey, the initiation should be. When you're in that energy, you're doing less, you're less resourceful, you're more expectant. And the result of that, you in entitlement mode, right, is that you don't, well, for sure, you don't perform to your potential. You are, in a way, it's like giving up your power, because if you feel entitled to certain things, then to a certain extent, you can't deliver to your potential until those things come to you. Okay? So I want you to follow what I've just shown you. There is the route that your brain will take you on, and the emotions and actions will take you, the result you'll create from your emotions and actions that come from the thought, I deserve to be here. I worked really hard to be here. All right. This, my friend, does not get you to the place where you are performing to your potential. And this is what we want. Because if anything, what imposter syndrome does when you don't have the tool, you don't know how to overcome it, is it slows you down. It keeps you stuck, right? And it, what was the word I used yesterday that I really liked? Stifles your potential. We don't want that, especially when you've just been promoted, especially when you've just announced to the world you have this new role and you're so proud, especially when you're celebrating being awarded a training contract and you've changed your profile on LinkedIn to future Magic Circle trainee, for example, right? This is not the time you want to be like showing up to beneath your potential, stifling your potential. But telling yourself you deserve to be here won't stop imposter syndrome from doing that. So here's what I want to invite you to do instead. And I urge you to do instead, and what I want to offer as the way, and actually the only way you need to worry about, all you ever need to overcome your imposter syndrome when it's triggered, to overcome those thoughts. Oh no, I don't deserve to be here, or I'm a fraud, my success is down to luck, I'm going to be found out. Those thoughts that come in the aftermath of the euphoria of having achieved your goal, right? I'm going to offer you the only solution you need, which is going to help you overcome imposter syndrome and get you fulfilling your potential, getting to work to your highest level. And it's really simple. The tool, it's the imposter speech. So instead of telling yourself how hard you work to get here, telling yourself you deserve to be where you are, give yourself the imposter speech. What is the imposter speech? The imposter speech is, it's simply a talking to. It's the pep talk. It's what you say to yourself in the moment when your imposter syndrome has been triggered. So when you get that massive deflation after the euphoria of achieving, what you want to do is go straight to your imposter speech. You want to be able to say it to yourself. It's the pep talk, and what it does is connect you to your full capability. Okay, so let's break that down and think about how it works, like why it works and what it is. What's it made up of? How do you make your imposter speech? What is it? One of the ways I want you to think about the imposter speech is, if I were to break it down, it's a cocktail of empowering thoughts, right, that you have put together. It's a cocktail of empowering thoughts that connect you to your highest capability. Okay, what does that mean, Caroline? Cocktail of empowering thoughts. It means it's more than one thought, more than one sentence, right? So I worked hard to be here is like one sentence, one thought. That's not empowering. We've just seen how that creates entitlement, like in you, rather than you being empowered, right? So it wants to be a number of thoughts, right? And what makes those thoughts empowering is how they connect you to your capability. Okay, what does that mean? It means connecting you to all of you, not just the bit that worked hard to get here, but the you that has achieved all of those successes. Yes, all throughout your life. You want to bring all of that. We want to package all of that and make that accessible in the moment when your imposter syndrome is triggered. But on its own, that's not enough. What you also want to be able to connect to is your why. What got you here in the first place? Why did you decide to enter this industry? Why did you work so hard? Why were you so determined and so motivated? So there's a sentence, like there's a thought there that relates to your why. And then there's a thought that comes from everything you have been through, you have been challenged by, you have had to overcome along the way. This is part of the cocktail. And then there's your thoughts about where you want to go, what your goal is, what the purpose is, what absolutely like fires you up and gets you moving, gets you like feeling purposeful. So a cocktail of, maybe the best way to describe it, because those are all a collection of thoughts, right? And that's all part of the process that we work through when you work with me to create your imposter syndrome, imposter speech. That's all part of the process we work through to access those thoughts. But maybe this is the most powerful thing for you to take away today, that it's the cocktail of emotions that those thoughts create. Let's think of it like that. Emotions like capable, I feel capable, resourceful, motivated, resilient, purposeful, driven. That is a powerful cocktail of emotions. And my friend, when you are in that state, when you can get yourself to the state of feeling those emotions, that is you at your highest level of capability. From there, you are going to show up to your new role, to your promotion like never before. You are bringing everything you are. You are remembering everything you are, and you are bringing it to the new role, or you're bringing it to the new task. Yeah, you're bringing capability, resourcefulness, resilience, purpose, determination, motivation, creativity, versus entitlement, which is what you bring when you tell yourself you deserve to be here. It's what you bring when you say, but I worked really hard to be here. Entitlement doesn't drive action. Entitlement actually puts you in a more of a passive mode, whereas capable, resourceful, resilient, determined, motivated, purposeful, that activates you. That makes you want to get to work. It's impossible for me to talk about those emotions and use those words without almost physically wanting to lean forward, physically feeling energized. Like I can just feel the energy coming through my body, the desire to get to work, to show up, to give it my best, right? To solve problems, to be creative in my solutions, to think critically. All of that is so available to me when I'm in that cocktail of emotions. So how you overcome imposter syndrome in this scenario, and by the way, in every single scenario where your imposter syndrome is triggered, and my friend, if your imposter syndrome is triggered by a promotion, there will be other areas or other circumstances in which it will be triggered. So this tool, you want to have this tool. You have to have this tool. It's without this, you will always be struggling. You will always be battling. Imposter syndrome will always be slowing you down and stifling your potential. But with this tool, everything changes. Because that cocktail of emotions, with the use of this tool, those emotions become immediately accessible to you. And that's why it's so important that you do this work before you are in what I call self-doubting mode, right? Before you're in the thick of, you're inside your imposter syndrome in a way. In other words, you want to have the imposter speech, your unique imposter speech prepared. You want to know it so that like before you're in the situation when you need it. It's like the moment you need it, you can't access it, as in you can't create it, right? You can definitely access it, and that's what I teach you to do. But when you need it, you can't create it. You can't create a powerful speech, one that lights you up, lifts you up, elevates you, makes you feel like a gladiator, makes you feel unstoppable. You can't create that speech when you're in the moment of feeling deflated and that you're not enough. You have to create it when you are connected to that side of you, your capability. You are connected to all of the things you've achieved, to the why that got you here, to the obstacles and challenges you have overcome, to the purpose that drives you. That's when you are connected to all of those things, and by connected, you feel it in your body, you feel strong, you feel powerful, you feel unstoppable. When you're in that state, that's when you want to create your imposter speech. Yeah, not when you're feeling deflated and not enough. So you create it when you're in that powerful, empowered state, right? And you learn it, right? We want to internalize that. And what that means is whenever imposter syndrome comes up, all you have to do is have the awareness. And I teach you this, it's literally a 5-step process. The awareness, okay, my imposter syndrome has been triggered. This is what's triggered it. This is how I'm feeling. Okay, I need my imposter speech. And then you say it. And because you have internalized it before you need it, the speech just comes to you. You know exactly what to say to yourself. This is the point about the imposter speech. You will know exactly what to say to yourself to activate the most empowered and capable version of you. It's exactly what to say to yourself to connect you to the most capable version of you. You are so highly capable with all of your resilience, your resourcefulness, what you have learned along the way, what you have accomplished along the way, who you are in your core, what's driven you, motivated you to come this far, why you keep showing up day after day, what drives you, your purpose. Like this, my friend, is the key. It is how you access that capability, by connecting to all of those aspects of you. But you can't do it in the moment when you're doubting yourself, when you're feeling like you're not enough. And that's why I created the process, the imposter speech process. And I want to invite you. So if you are a Black lawyer, it doesn't matter whether you are a junior, whether you're an aspiring lawyer, if you are a senior, if you are a partner, at every level of your legal career, you will experience imposter syndrome at some point. You're a Black lawyer in a white world. The environment mirrors back to you that you're an imposter, that you shouldn't be here. Every time they have their little huddles and they talk about all of their private school education and the ski trips and all the golf trips and all the what's other examples, the type of things that they do at the weekend, and then where they go on holiday, all of those things that happen culturally within your firm or within your organization that you feel excluded from, right? It's normal. It's expected that you will have these experiences, that you will feel like an imposter at times. And my friend, that is not a problem, because this tool is all you'll ever need in those scenarios to connect you to your capability so that you feel confident. You have the confidence to show up to your potential and deliver really exactly show people what you're capable of, show yourself what you're capable of, and just absolutely smash your performance in this role. So if you're a Black lawyer, I invite you, you have to come. The sooner you get started on creating this imposter speech, the better. That highly elevated, empowered state I said you want to be in order to create the speech, I help you create that. So I am delivering an in-person live event on the 31st of May, 2025. It's all day between 10 and 4. It's in London, in Covent Garden. And I want to invite you, if you're a Black lawyer and you want to overcome imposter syndrome this year, you want to be confident this year, come and join us. I am going to be walking you through that process for creating your imposter speech. I'm going to be literally walking you through step by step to help you access that most empowered part of you, the powerful part of you that is so capable, so resourceful, and so resilient, so good at solving problems, has the best ideas, can think really critically, is super efficient, super productive. I'm going to walk you through a process that you will literally feel more powerful, more confident than you ever have before. It's going to take your confidence to a whole new level. And what you're going to come out with is your imposter speech, unique to you. The speech, the pep talk, the only thing you need to overcome imposter syndrome, no matter what the situation is. So you're going to create your own speech. I'm going to walk you through every step. You will leave with your imposter speech and know, like, how would it feel? First of all, how's it going to feel to access that capability inside of you? I talk about the pilot light. There's a pilot light inside of you, which is the piece that knows you are capable of more. That flame is burning. You can feel it. That's the pain you feel when, like, an opportunity comes your way and you know deep down inside, you know it's something you could do. You know it's something you should go for, but you doubt yourself in the moment and you just like, oh, I'm not 100% qualified, so I'm not going to do it. That's an example of that pilot light inside of you where you know you have more, you know you have more potential, you know that there's more to give. And so doing this work with me, joining me on the 31st of May at Confidence Live, we are going to like put gas on that flame. We are going to light you up. You're going to create your own unique imposter speech. I'm going to walk you through that process. You will leave with the imposter speech. You will already have internalized some of it, and you will know exactly what to say to yourself in those moments when your imposter syndrome is triggered. Because remember, you need to create it from this elevated state of power, which is where I'm going to take you to. And then when you will have the knowledge, and I'll teach you exactly how to know when you use it and how to use it in the moment, you're going to be able to go out in the world and not be afraid of anything ever again. You're going to have the self-concept, self-belief that, like, no matter what, and in this new role, and although I've been promoted and I'm starting my training contract, or I'm just about to start my new role in a different organization, you will know that you will always have with you this tool you can access whenever you have moments of doubt, no matter what the circumstances around you. This, my friends, is so powerful. This, my friend, is the key. If you have been looking, as I did for years, searching for the answer to your imposter syndrome, trying all the things, oh, I deserve to be here, oh, I worked so hard to be here, oh, look at what I've done, trying all those things, trying to come up with the right thing to tell yourself in the moment when your imposter syndrome has been triggered. This is it. I want you, I want everybody. Everybody needs this imposter speech, this thing, this pep talk, this motivational speech you give yourself to connect to your true capability, not the capability you think you have in the moment when something makes you doubt yourself. All you need is this one tool. All you need is your imposter speech. I'm going to help you create it. I'm going to show you how to use it so that you can show up and feel capable and be able to overcome any obstacle, any challenge. Know that what I love, actually, and I'll just say this before I finish, is what I love about having this tool and having the confidence that you can overcome imposter syndrome in any moment, is it means you can put yourself in bigger and bigger rooms. You can set yourself bigger and bigger goals. You can be bold. You can be audacious. Gosh, one of my clients inside Confident Black Lawyer, she's being bolder and more audacious than she has ever been before. And the reason she can do that is not because she knows she will never question whether she's enough. It's because she knows exactly what to do when that questioning comes up. She has the tool and it's ready. She doesn't have to scramble around for it in the moment when she's doubting herself. She can just take her brain to that place and switch her capability on. It's so good. This is how I have transformed myself into the junior lawyer, the just starting out lawyer, the student at Cambridge, like just tortured by imposter syndrome, doubting myself, in so much emotional pain because of that cognitive dissonance, that disconnect between what my pilot like what I felt I was capable of, what I wanted to achieve in my life, and yet what I actually felt able to do in the moment, and how like incredibly insufficient, how much not enoughness I felt at the time, to where I am now with so much confidence in who I am, because I know I can connect to my full capability. I have my imposter speech. It can connect me in any moment where I need it, connect me to that capability so that I can get to work, so that I can perform to the level of my true potential. All right, it's been a blast. Always a pleasure to speak to you live. If you're watching this on the replay, any questions you have about confidence, about imposter syndrome, about that feeling, the deflation, the anticlimax after you've been like, you're feeling amazing after an achievement and then you feel terrible, what that feeling is, how you get yourself out of it. Any questions you have about the imposter speech, how you create it. Most importantly, any questions you have about Confidence Live. I want every Black lawyer to be there. Every one of you needs an imposter speech. Connect you to your capability to no matter what the circumstances around you that might trigger your self-doubt, trigger your imposter syndrome. And I'm going to help you create it. I want everybody to come. I've only got 40 spots, all right? And they are selling fast. So make sure, don't hesitate. If this resonates with you, click on the link immediately, either in the comments or in my profile. Look out for the link to Confidence Live, okay, the live event, and it's on the 31st of May. Make sure you book your tickets right now today to avoid a disappointment. Great speaking to you. I'll be back again soon. Have a beautiful Friday. Bye for now.